Hey, 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 welcome back. Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Interpret the message as it best resonates. Also, know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the reading, so we do look at everything, but we take time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play it as karmic themes. This will allow you to see why everything's playing out the way that it is. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you have to do three things. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. If you're not subscribed, you will not be notified. All right. Needed to just put that out there. Also, if you are someone that's interested in shadow healing, my shadow healing coaching program, well, right now enrollment is not open because it's full. So if you want to enroll, just fill out the link in the description box and you'll get notified the next time enrollment opens. So that's the way that it's going to be done because every time I do coaching, I take a limited amount of people in order to make sure that everybody's needs are met. Not to mention, I give I give free readings every time we meet. I do, shadow healing exercises. We do healing modalities. We do a lot of different things in this coaching program. It's not just shadow healing. It's not just inner child healing, shadow healing, reparenting, and all the healing modalities to heal the effects of trauma. We go into life coaching. We go into, life path. We go into that. So that when you actually are, finished with the healing aspect, I mean, we're never 100% healing. However, you don't need a coach forever. You don't see those blockages prevent you from moving forward in other areas of your life. What you're seeing is that your life is still working. Is that we all get blocked. I mean, this is life. And you're dealing with a bunch of different energies. The difference is that you don't have blockages from childhood that are preventing you from financially being able to support yourself or from being able to attract a normal and healthy relationship. That's really what it amounts to. When we have spiritual blocks, we see that they're showing up in our life. And then what happens is we get these perceptions about ourselves that form core beliefs that keep us stuck in a place of limitation and in a place where we don't like, we actually wind up rejecting that part of ourselves and then we detach and disassociate. And so we become unconscious to what the block is, but we're seeing it actually manifest. We don't know why it's manifesting. So understand the universe is always conspiring to bring you what you need. So when we attract people that are really imbalanced, it's a sign that you're imbalanced. It doesn't mean you're like as imbalanced. It doesn't matter. There's only two energies, love and fear. It's simplified that way. So even if you have a little imbalance where maybe you're someone that just likes to live safe. So you don't really go out, you don't really do anything like for entertainment wise to emotionally fulfill you wise. Or if you do, maybe that's their addictions or things that are going to create imbalances within in your life. So you'll attract a narcissist and you'll be like, I just don't go out. Know what I mean? I have a few glasses of wine on a Friday, and I'm attracting this person. Like, what the fuck? But Spirit says there's only two energies, love and fear. So you live safe. The other person lives reckless, but it's in balance. And so, unfortunately, that is what it is. And it's all about integrating the spiritual lesson so that you can evolve into a higher state of consciousness because the goal is to get to the space of unconditional love. Because when we're in our perfect state, that's what we are. We're unconditional love. we're able to give and receive of love. When we're with a narcissist, obviously, we're not giving and receiving anything except to that person. And then that person sees that that isn't going to heal them, that's not going to fix them, that's not going to cure them. And then what happens is the person that gave gets devalued and gets disposed of. And so the karmic theme is always abandonment. And that's just one. There's thousands of spiritual blockages, and they play out differently in individual to individual. You might have the same spiritual block as me, but my behaviorisms and habits are different. And the karma then, therefore, is different. I just wanted to put that out there. Ooh, my allergies. Well, I'm on allergy medicine every day, and it's making me so dry, but otherwise I'm like choking. Like I feel like all congested, and you could feel it like in the back of your throat. Uh, so it's like either be dehydrated or suffer with allergies. Which imbalance do I want? I guess I'll take the dry, you know? Sorry about that, but I get so dehydrated. And it doesn't even really cure my sinuses. It's a lot better than it used to be. It used to wind up in the emergency room for because it would go right into asthmatic bronchitis. Because I grew up in survival mode. And so when you grow up in survival mode, you actually condition your nervous system to be in survival. And that causes a lot of imbalances. So I'm not just the hair club member, I'm the president. I'm not just the president, I'm a member of the shadow healing. That's what I say. I said the logo backwards, but you know what I mean. I'm all discombobulated. So today we're gonna have two words of the video to mix it up, and I wanted to share my Psychic Soul Healing Oracle deck made for healing the shadow aspects of ourselves. There are 68 cards in the deck, and they're titled under transpersonal psychology. And this deck comes with a workbook that has over 100 different shadow healing exercises, teaches you how to do inner child healing, shadow healing, and reparenting. And you can get it right through my website. So if you're interested, they are out. You could also get them on Etsy. Either way, either way. All right, so the word of the video, one of them is going to be prudence. I always hear that, that's that Beatles song. I won't sing it because I can't hold the tune in a bucket. But disappointed. You're connected to someone that I feel is coming back to you. You know, Scorpio, that is only a matter of time. And you're really angry. You're really angry with this person because you're really disappointed in them. Because any chance they had to step it up for you, they didn't. Anytime they could have shown up for you, they deliberately didn't. It was almost like they deliberately sabotaged this connection. It was like when they were dealing with you, it was almost like they got very triggered by you because of your boundaries. You demand certain things for yourself, and this person doesn't like to be told what to do. When really, you weren't really telling them what to do. What you was doing is protecting yourself and not letting this person take advantage of you. See, they're not used to that. And I also feel like when you were dealing with them, you always felt like that's what they were trying to do. So you always kind of put up certain boundaries. And again, that kind of did stagnate the relationship. So I could see where this person would say, well, you're not letting me in. Like you don't, if you don't never trust me, then it's never going to work. But you're like, I can't trust you. And I can't trust you because all you do is disappoint me. You don't show up for me. It's like you choose to put your energy everywhere else except for with me. But then you expect me to be there for you. You want the relationship when you want the relationship. And so you just got to a point where you're like, I really thought due to our connection that you cared a lot more. I really thought that you would come to your senses. But instead, the more that I held my ground, the more angry and the more resistant you became. Instead of actually waking up and seeing the importance of the relationship where I was standing my ground, because if I allow you to disrespect me, then I know that the relationship won't work because you'll keep doing it. And with a little disrespect becomes a bigger disrespect, which becomes a bigger disrespect, which you will like, I'm willing to be in this connection, even though I could see that you're on a lower vibration. However, I'm going to be the one that, kind of navigates the relationship because I know that I'm not going to take advantage of you, but I don't really know that you're going to take advantage of me. So right off the bat, we really shouldn't have been in a connection with this person because, like the person is continually getting triggered because they don't trust themselves. They need to be in a connection with someone that actually trusts them, but they always have one foot out the door. So it's like the relationship won't work mainly because they don't take the time to heal themselves. They don't take the time to do any reflection, to do any shadow work. So there's a part of you that's like, I don't know how to deal with you because I don't know what you want. I feel like some days you want a lot, some days you don't want anything, and it all depends on your mood. And that's the irony because you let your actions be dictated by your mood, but you're bipolar. You seem like you're bipolar. Sometimes you want a relationship, sometimes you don't. So you don't but it just seems that every time I need you, you don't show up for me. So you're continually like keeping it, like compartmentalizing it. And that's what you felt. And that's why you were disappointed because you were like, I felt like we were more than that. I felt like we had a spiritual connection, but you wanted to treat me like how you treat everyone else and compartmentalize me, which is use me only for passion, like not include me in other areas of your life, and then come to me and not be in a good mood, and then like project all your shit onto me because you're not happy in your life. You're not, coming in offering anything. So there's a part of you that's like that has decided to act very prudent, which is conservative, is a lot more colder than it used to be. When you used to see this person, you would be like, oh, really making them like feel happy and like go out of your way. And they didn't have to do that much. They'd only have to give you a little bit of breadcrumb, and you would be like, make this person feel comfortable because you knew that they were insecure. So another reason why you're disappointed is you're like, listen, I accommodated you. It's like I lowered my vibration to be with you, because to try and help you raise to my level. But the whole time you didn't really want to raise to my level. But we have this connection, so I don't really know what you want. And what they want is it seemed like they wanted their cake and eat it too, is what you feel like a lot. You're like, yeah, we have a connection, but I feel like you want your cake and you want to eat it too. And you want me to like be there all the time for you and act like a girlfriend, but do not be incorporated in any other area of your life and not really being treated like a girlfriend. And you never change. You never changed. And again, I try to talk to you about it, but you withdraw from me. And then you tell, like, again, really deliberately shutting me out of your life. And then, but then, like, when you're not with me, you have really rebellious behavior, which is completely contrary to what you're showing me. You're showing me this insecure person, this person that needs the help to open up, wants me to be patient, wants me to act like a girlfriend to you. And meanwhile, you have this whole other side of you that you're rebellious. You need to appear like different than how you're again seen with me, or either that you that's really like there's part of you that's like, are you the insecure person or are you the rebellious person? And what they are is they are both. They're the inadequate person in a relationship because they feel like there's something wrong with them. But then they're also the rebellious person because when we don't know who we are, we feel like there's something wrong with us. When we feel like there's something wrong with us, then there's an empty hole within us that continually needs to be fed. Like it becomes like a monster and it gets fed with drinking, drugs, alcohol, which is same as drinking, but sex, overbuying, a very indulgent, grandioso behavior, like this over the top, when meanwhile you're like, okay, but that's not the person that you're showing me. You expect me to accommodate you, but then you have this whole other side to you. So you're like, I don't even know who I'm dealing with. What you're dealing with is someone that needs healing. Someone that you know needs healing because they want you to be patient with them. They didn't show up for you. You are disappointed in them. You do have a connection. You know that they're going to come back. It's not, it's like you don't really know how to deal with them at this point because you're like, I've tried. But see, when you have to try and be accommodate to the point of, I'm going to continually dumb me down to make sure that you're comfortable because you're insecure. Well, again, this person doesn't care how they keep you stuck. They're keeping you stuck. That's their way of having their cake and eat it too, because they are showing you that they have a double life, and they have a double life because they don't process their emotions. They haven't reflected back on anything that has happened within their life, and they have trauma. And people that have severe trauma from from childhood, well, they never form the appropriate attachment style. So this person has an avoidant attachment style because, again, they never really learned how to deal, so they don't communicate. And I believe that there's a part of you that's like, well, I acted prudent also because I would tell this person and they would take it like I was yelling at them, that I was screaming at them, that I was telling them what to do, that I was becoming over emotional, all these things, which I wasn't. But a person that doesn't know how to communicate, that's what they see. They see everything as an argument. So, which makes this person feel bad about themselves, which is the original wound. Because again, what we see here is the second chakra imbalance. We see almost like a split personality, two different personalities. And you're like, okay, no, like I think that you're that person, that you're rebellious, that you're a cheater, that you are like that you're self-indulgent. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's drinking, smoking, partying, like it's like you just need to appear like you need to again draw attention to yourself. You need to appear different than what you actually are because you don't like what you are. But really, all this outward things that you do like is not important. What's important is what's on the inside. So it's almost like this person that feels so inadequate, like it tries to become like I keep seeing the Fonz in my head. So imagine like a nerdy guy or a nerdy girl, and like Olivia Newton-John, right? In Greece, like when she kind of like that, like she's this goody good, like, and then now she's like this bad girl. You know what I mean? Appearing like a bad girl, as bad as it could be in the early 70s, right? So the persona. Well, that's what this person does. But they again are being led by their addiction. So it's almost like this Jekyll and Hyde personality. And so there's all these addictions and all these other behaviorisms inside there. And I feel like you're disappointed the more and more that you really get to know this person, and where you may not even be spending time with this person, the more that you study this person, the more that you reflect on them, I should say. Yeah, and then it's like they deny like that anything is yeah, they're in denial about that they could have love. They're unwilling to face the things that they need to face, so they reject the good things in their life. You know, they don't see every aspect of a situation. They get blocked, and they get blocked in a perception. And that perception is really being led by that inadequate person, that person that feels like there's something wrong with them. Obviously, not the persona. The persona is what sabotages them. The persona of the rebellious behavior is what, again, is telling you that they don't believe that they're lovable, even though may not be saying that to you. They're not giving you anything because they literally can't, because they're empty inside. This is why they have created personas of themselves. And when they deal with certain people, they take on a certain persona. That's someone that's a chameleon. Someone that, again, feels inadequate becomes a chameleon because they're focused more on being liked, more about fitting in than about respect. So with you, they have feelings which make them feel really uncomfortable because this person does no shadow work, does no reflection. So there's just this I have feelings for you, so I want to be with you, but I'm going to do it in a very compartmentalized way. That's the best way that I can explain it. Because they're so fragmented. What we're seeing here is fragmentation. When you see someone that has a lot of trauma and there's fragmented parts of the soul, what they do is they create personas. And those personas are masks. And it's to create the illusion. But if they're spending so much time creating the illusion, it's taking them further away from themselves. So they're not capable of having an intimate relationship. Cheating. So again, the rebellious behavior is a cheating. But remember, this person feels empty inside because when we again are creating personas and act like a chameleon to fit in, well, we're going to do things that make us appear desirable. We're also going to be doing things that can lift the serotonin and the other happy hormones within our body. So what's happened is this person has gotten a lot of addictive behaviors. They have a lot of addictive behaviors because they have a lot of healing that they need to do. So again, manipulating, again, and you knew that because again, they wanted you to act a little subservient, be patient with me, and I can't I can't like making it so difficult because of my past relationship. But really, no. Person that would have came in correctly and did the work right away by having an open heart, being transparent, creating intimate moments with you. And that doesn't mean in the bedroom. I'm talking about like going out to dinner and sharing about your life, about talking about the hard things. What this person does is they withdraw from you. And it's all about manipulation. I still have feelings for you. I want what I want. But the ego now is running the show because that's what happens when a person's so fragmented, when they have so much trauma that they create so many different personas about themselves that they become a chameleon in their environment. That's what they're going to do. They're manipulating everybody because they're creating personas everywhere where they go. So again, what happened is that this person would get annoyed. They would get annoyed with your boundaries, so they would cross them. You know, again, a narcissist can't deal with boundaries. A boundary is telling a person what they can and can't do, and you're holding this person accountable with your boundaries, right? We don't have strong boundaries when we trust a person. You know, we tend to be like, oh, I trust that person. Like they can pretty much do whatever they want. Why? Because I know that they have our best interests at hand. We know that they're not going to take advantage. This person, all that they do show is that it's all about them. The ego's running the show. So you have to have strong boundaries because, again, every time this person could have showed up for you, they didn't. And then when trying to talk about it with them, they don't want to talk about it. They get in denial and they withdraw because it makes them feel bad and not just feel bad, but then it triggers them to turn into that other person, that rebellious person. Because now you didn't make me feel good. So now I'm going to run around and maybe again find somebody else that needs to make me feel good because you didn't make me feel good. But what are their hidden truths? Let's see, what do they really feel? Now, understand it doesn't really matter what they feel because their feelings are going to change from second to second. When they're bipolar like this, fragmented people are like this. However, what they think, what are their real hidden truths where we need to look at? Because it's like, what is at the core? Not saying that it will matter because until this person heals, but at least that we can see, is this conscious or are they unconscious? Because if they're unconscious to it, then it's like we can almost come to an acceptance of it where we're like saying, well, the person like has the emotional intelligence of a 3-year-old. So we really can't get mad at a 3-year-old if a 3-year-old came up to us and kicked us really hard, like as hard as they could. If we would again look at it, it might hurt a little bit, a tiny, tiny bit, but you know, it's more like you look at the 3-year-old like, why did you do that? Well, it's almost like the same with this person, like, why are you doing what you're doing? And I believe when a person has trauma this bad, it's that it stunts their emotional intelligence. It stunts the way that they think. It's because again, they grew up in survival. When a person grows up in survival mode that from their childhood, they form these different personas and create these illusions as ways of survival. It's time for me to heal now. Finding out the truth crushed me. I feel like this person, again, like you left, they blew it. They blew the connection. And they know it because you are being, it's like you're unaffected. It's like you're not being mad. You're not crying. You're not reacting in any way. You're acting monotone. You're acting prudent. You're acting very conservatively. So again, there's a sense of your boundaries are you're cordial to this person because you have feelings still for this person, but your demeanor and the way that you deal with them is a lot colder. And so this person, by you doing that, it actually like awakened this person to like how messed up that they actually are. Because I feel as if, they thought it was a game for a long time. And so there was also a sense that they thought that you're always going to be there, which again, the persona and the ego will say that because, hey, look, you accommodate me. You're going to accommodate me. You don't want me out of your life. Well, listen, you're not saying that either. What you're doing, you're not saying anything one way or the other, like, which is actually the best way to make a person look at themselves. It's like, because what can you say? You're like, I said everything that I was going to say. You don't listen, but it's like you realize who this person is. So I remember every detail of that day. So it's like what I feel like. One more. I hide behind material things, which again, the persona of who they want people to think that they are. Again, part of the fragmented part is that grandiose, behavior, which is very self-indulgent. So, yeah, they have a lot of material things. They pretend that that's who they are. They were able to pretend that their life was successful because my life is successful because I have all these things. And people want to have these things, so they apparently want to be with me. But down deep inside, they don't really believe that they can be loved. And I feel like when you were like, I'm not dealing with this because I can't deal with it. It's like being in a connection with, like, I don't know who I'm in a relationship with today. Is it like the person that wants me to believe that you're so broken and need help, but that you're harmless? Or are you the rebellious person? Or are you the arrogant person, the self-indulgent person? I don't know who you are today. And so it triggered this person to realize that, it doesn't, you're not like everybody else. You are not going to stick around for this person's bullshit to go through all the crazy stages of who the fuck they are today. It's like you're not going to do that because you love yourself enough. So again, this person's like realizing a lot of what they did, but when they're in the moment, they don't realize that they're doing it, that they're acting like this because they've embedded these personas inside their psyche because they've been living this way for so long. Now, the body and mind are self-healing organisms, and we're able to heal ourselves of trauma, and that the universe will always aid us to bring us the people and situations and the experiences to help us to do so. However, that does not mean that you're supposed to heal this person. Spirit's saying, well, you know, you show this person, I'm not going to tolerate this. I don't care what kind of connection we have. You're not giving me anything enough emotionally. You're still keeping me outside because of your feelings of inadequacy. And that's really where where perfectionism comes from when a person, again, tries to act as if they're perfect. That's what they do. But really, because you've held the state where you're like, I'm really disappointed in you. However, I still have love for you. So I'm going to treat you conservatively. That's the worst for this person because if you at least would react, then they could justify, but they can't do it. How you're doing it, it's like you're actually just almost like holding a mirror up to this. And this is what's making this person look at their own narcissistic behavior, realizing that they were the toxic one and they were the toxic one. So, what's going to happen? Because what we see is that they hide behind material things, and it's this connection is woken this person up a little bit. Doesn't mean that they don't have a shitload of healing to do. You are the first person to make me feel this way. Like again, to care, because there was a genuine connection there. Otherwise, they wouldn't care at all. Okay. So you might be like, well, then why would spirit bring this person to me? That's where your healing comes in, and we will look at your inner child cards. But we'll finish this. Betrayal. So it's like, no, it's like I get emotional when I think of you because of the betrayal. So they're in a place of healing. It's like they don't really know how to fix it. The repetitive cycles. So this person may never get like heal 100% is what Spirit's saying. Spirit is saying that they're sad about what they did. They know that they betrayed you for no reason, and they get emotional because there really was feelings. They see what they did. However, they don't know how to fix it. They need to do healing in order to fix it. Awareness is only the first step. They have to integrate the spiritual lesson in order to transmute the negative energy. Otherwise, they're still stuck in that consciousness no matter how much awareness they have. And so, unfortunately, it would end here because they're not, unless you're gonna again come to them and eat them and act like, oh, you little baby, what can I do for you? Again, and act real codependent, which is how this person again wanted you to be. While meanwhile they have this other persona going on and 50 other personalities. Well, it's again, no, they have too much healing to do. So we don't recommend it. So we have to say, oh, why would I attract a person like that? Well, this card popped out at me, like just because it was flipped over, so I'm gonna take it. That's neglect. But we're gonna pull 7 just because that one just jumped out at me. Protection, overwhelmed, magic, isolated. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trauma, physical touch, sing. Well, out of the like 7 cards, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, actually, to put sing back. Because I only said I would pull 7. All right, 6, 7. All right. So, and that didn't make sense either, sing, but I would have taken it. Um, so you see trauma, obviously. So when you have severe trauma yourself, because emotionally you didn't get your needs met, because physical touch means that. It means nurturing. It means emotionally being taken care of. It means being able to be soothed. It means having people show up for you. You were neglected. Again, the parent that was supposed to be protecting you actually was the bully. This says protection. So if anything, you were overwhelmed all the time. And then if you showed any type of emotion whatsoever, you were isolated. So this is severe trauma. This is severe trauma. You grew up with trauma with someone that, again, emotionally couldn't give to you. And if your parent didn't bully you, they just didn't act like a parent. They were overwhelmed with their own life, so they neglected you. So whenever you had to go through anything that was traumatic, you went through it by yourself. Now, the one thing that you do have is you have magic. And we find our magic because the child that survives thrives. So you did healing work and you got to a place where you recognized that this energy was off. I believe you were brought up with a parent that had like multiple personalities, or a parent that seemed like they had multiple personalities, was very narcissistic, was supposed to love you, but instead traumatized you. And that left you alone, again, having to work out your own issues, your own problems as a child. There was no emotional security. There was none of that. And that is again what creates a lot of trauma. So in that space of trauma, you're in the imagination mind, right? Because that's what children do. They escape and they escape into the imagination. Then that's where you found your magic, because I believe that you were able to utilize this time to manifest. You found your magic. So you were able to utilize your unique imagination. Again, when we were traumatized, is that we were able to really embody the energy too. And the reason why is because growing up in survival makes us sensitive. And so having sensitivity and being able to embody a consciousness and being able to visualize that consciousness makes it very easy to manifest. And that's where magic comes into play, because the universe always conspires to bring you what you need. So again, having that vision in your mind. So again, it was a good thing that you walked away from this person, and you have definitely influenced this person. Unfortunately, you can only bring the horse to water, you cannot make them drink. It's a shame because there was feelings. That's why you're like, disappointed in this. But Spirit says, don't be, because your magic is gonna open up even more, and it's leading you to new experiences. It's allowing you to see yourself differently, so which is allowing you to open up to new worlds, to bring in new worlds. And then you're able to have a selection to actually see actually who you would want to be with. This person is familiar energy, but it's familiar energy that wasn't good. So it's a good thing that you recognized it. Otherwise, you would have stayed in the same consciousness, which is traumatized and without being able to get anything emotionally, because this person's not capable of doing it. They just would have kept you overwhelmed and traumatized. That's the crazy part of it. So you actually broke karma and are found your magic, and it's the magic that allows us to create our heaven on earth, because again, we're utilizing our spiritual gifts in order to do that. So we end this reading with what a message from the universe, which is belief. I believe in myself, the beauty of life, the goodness of God. Thus, I have the power to fulfill my dreams. The will of the Almighty supports me. My life is showered in divine light, and my heart opens to the power of the universe. The universe is God. So trusting in yourself. So what Spirit's saying is the spiritual test was, do you believe in yourself? And what you showed was, yes, I do. I believe in myself and I believe in the universe and I believe that God supports me. And the Spirit says, well, keep believing and you will be manifesting your heaven on earth because you're the one test was this person. And they held all the same negative energy that was very familiar. So it was kind of easy for you to pass this test. However, there is a very strong spiritual bond, which a lot of people fall for and say, oh, it's my twin flame. Oh, it's my, or I'm going to try harder because I have this connection. And Spirit says it was a karmic mate. I'm going to leave that there for you, Scorpio. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon.